program to bring you this important message.
Yo, it's Remember the Show. Slick with the flows, where the sparring can go. Who's gonna be on, man, you never will know. Guess you better tune in, cause we live from Chicago. Belal Muhammad, that's the king of the tweets. Jason Anik looks like John, step his hands to his feet. Every Thursday, we gon' give you a treat. It's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat. And retweet, and retweet, and retweet. And retweet, it's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat.
What is up? Episode 106, Remember the Show. Those of you joining us live, we appreciate that you remember the show tonight. My name is Jason Anik. I'd like to wish a happy belated birthday to the star of the program, my friend, Belal Muhammad, celebrated number 35, and looks as though it was rung in good fashion. No? Quite a
Thanks,
meal,
brother.
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, happy birthday, bro.
Man, it was fire. It was really good. Yeah, that was like one of the best meals I had. And they were like ordering, we got invited out. A couple of friends from Chicago were out there, and they were like, oh, yeah, don't worry, dinner on us. All right. And they're getting the aged Wagyu beef, the crab legs. And I'm like, bro, I'm not paying for the caviar. I'm like, dude, I don't eat like that. But
that
hey,
caviar.
I'm down.
Yeah. Speaking of Wagyu, thank you for that Wagyu burger. Sometime Bully's going to let me pay when we go out to eat. But, dude, what a week in Vegas. Dude, nice pair of Dior's courtesy of Flash Gordon, by the way, huh?
That's what a friend is for me, dude. Flash hooked it up. He did good at the table. So, but he hooked your boy up with some good shoes. Shout out to Flash.
Good. Bully ain't hitting those tables. So if they're winning shit, you pay it forward. Attaboy. All right. So anyway, always a pleasure to see you in many fashions. So let's just get right into it. Dude, remember the show live at UFC X. So we get there, right? And so we got this spot in the media center, right? Which is sort of blocked off. And Belal gets there, wants no part of this media center. Belal is a man of the people. Bully wants to get in the belly of the beast with the fans. So we get right out there. We do remember the show in front of the fans. Push-ups if you can't get it right. Squats if you can't do push-ups. Face smash. Dude, I'm telling you, this game show is going to blow up. That was fun.
That was like one of the funnest things of the whole weekend. Just to be over there. You had Grandma Habib doing push-ups. She was like hype. The fans were hype about doing it. It was like a cool experience. And like I said, if the next time we're there, we'll definitely be getting like a booth or something where all the fans can notice it and see it. Because I was getting so many messages afterward, like, bro, where were you guys at? I didn't see you guys. And I was like, it was just like a spur of the moment thing. Let's just go into the crowd because, like you said, I wanted to be in the people. Like it's not the same if the people aren't there with you right now. The same way like they could watch us anytime. I was like, bro, they have to be there. They have to be right in front of us. That's the only way it's gonna feel like it's a real show.
Dude, and we got to have a fan show sometime soon because those are some of the best shows. But dude, I just love being out there. And however, I have to say, a little disappointed in the performance of the fans. I think we had one guy answer 2 questions in a row. Everybody, I mean, I want to say the first maybe 10, 12 face match, nobody gets it right. If I'm not mistaken, right? So push-ups and squats, we got older folks doing squats. I mean, and Bully will let, like, if you ask for a hint, Bully adds 10 push-ups for those of you who didn't see it. Another hint. So these are 40 push-ups, right? And I'm like, you all can get up. You can get up. Bully will let them stay down and do all 40. Would you not?
Yeah, I'm a coach. If you lost, you got to pay your debts. That's the rules of the game. I was going to pay my debts. I had a pocket full of cash. I was ready to give away $1,000. So I was going to say, yo, let me give you like half of the money. I was like, bro, I'm trying to give it away. So if you're willing to step up, you got to be willing to do the push-ups. And, like you said, you're a little bit too nice. But
yes.
We'll get you a little bit meaner next time.
Yeah, well, that's okay. We can do a little good cop, bad cop. You can be sure I've been doing the good cop, bad cop with my brother John my whole life. That shouldn't surprise anyone who knows both of us. But dude, I was thrilled. Like, as Anik and Florian Podcast, they did a live hit for UFC Fight Pass on a stage. And just as they're sort of getting ready to go, I look over and who do I see? Remember the name? I'm like, dude, can we get you? Because I don't want to bug you. You're being pulled in a lot of directions. So we get you up there with my brother John and Kenny. That was nice for me to see too.
Yeah, it was fun just to be with those guys live because I've done a million interviews with them through the computer and things like that. So to be there next to them, it was cool. That was like my first time ever meeting Kenny too. So that was awesome. And you had the fans in the background too. So it
yeah, exactly.
how they had like college football and stuff, where they had the guys doing the college game. That was the sick part about
it. Like college game day, Bully getting there, handing him a mic, shouting his name. I couldn't get enough, you know?
Yeah, that was sick.
But dude, you were there both Friday and Saturday, right?
Yeah, it was cool, man. The whole experience, just doing where the fans walk up and take the pictures with you, and the autograph sessions. And then the second day, I was sitting next to Nogueira Minotauro and his brother, and he comes up to me and he's like recording a selfie, and he's like, the Brazilian killer right here. You kill all the Brazilians. I was like, bro, no, man. He said, no, man, we love you, man. You're a beast. You're good. I watch a lot of tape on you because I do it for Fight Pass and stuff. So watching a lot of tape, man, you're going to be a champion. And honestly, that meant more to me than anything, because while I was there, I literally had him come up to me and tell me that. Glover Teixeira told me you're going to be a champion. Joanna, when I retook a picture with her, she was like, next time we're going to do the picture. If you guys saw my debut when I had her belt, she's like, next time we're going to do a picture with your belt. So having those fighters and like people like that who done it, been there, done that, been champions, to tell me that you're going to be a champion, and it just meant the world to me. And it was such a sick moment.
I'm with you. And I was fortunate enough to be there when Glover came up to you, and for me to see that and to see him recognize, and that, you know what I mean? He is acutely aware that your next fight is going to be for the belt. And that's just special. He's such a special guy. So that moment, just seeing that, it was like, damn right. You know what I mean? Damn
that's
right.
What it's cool about it. Like, I still fanboy for these guys.
Yes.
Like I said, before I was even in the UFC, I used to watch them all the time. So to have him, we were just at dinner, and to have him come up to us and like joke around, it was like cool, because I'm still in that mode of like, what the heck? Dang, Glover's talking to me right now.
Dude, speaking of fanboy, I'm a fanboy all day long with some of these guys. Like, I met Marlon Cheeto Vera, and I know he and John are cool and have had some close moments, but it's a thrill. I met Mackenzie Dern, Mackenzie Dern sort of like, are you the other brother? I'm like, yes, I am. Pleasure.
What?
Happy to give you a hug. But, met Kamaru Usman for the first time. He had his brother Mo on the show. It's so nice to meet him. Certainly doesn't appear to be an imminent threat to my boy Belal. So happy to meet him in that spot too. But anyway, moving on to the card for UFC 290, and we may get back into this after the game show, because we got a game show tonight. So dude, I have to say it is interesting. I happen to go with John, always there right from the early prelim. So I'm sort of with him sitting on that side, and you're on the side with the fighters, the opposite side of the octagon. So it's like, unless I'm going to be that dude, walking through Celebrity Row, greeting Trump, Marky Mark, you know what I mean? Finding my way to, I can't even see you. We're just literally on opposite sides of the octagon the whole time,
Did you get to take a picture of Trump? I was like, man, I got to hop over this thing and get a picture of Trump.
I might have been the only one that didn't, you know what I mean? So I was, I did take some pictures of John with him here or there. And, John tells story about this guy, like texting Dana during fight nights, into the sport. So who knows, maybe he got a little action. Wouldn't surprise me if 45 got a little action on the sport. Anyway, so dude, I'm glad I'm not the only one saying this was maybe the greatest card like ever. I saw some of your tweets. I was like, thank God, because I'm sitting there in my seat. Like, this is just even the first fight of the night. Forgive me for not naming their names, so we could go anywhere with it. But I guess.
Whoa. I mean, you're kind of burying the lead, don't you think?
Oh, fight hoops. Cody, want to talk about fight hoops?
Two or three of the championship roster over here. Bully, they did you dirty. I mean, you should have been with us.
But I'll just say this: the basketball game was great. A lot of people are still messaging me about it, but that day, I was awake at 6 a.m. jogging with Yair, and then we didn't start playing until 11 p.m. So your boy was a little bit tired, but and we got 2 injuries that whole game. So you guys may have won, but if we had our full squad, we're winning that game.
No doubt about it. And I was cooked too for many reasons, being 45 years old, being one of them. But yeah, Jamal Hill and Rude Boy, Randy, don't go down. It's a different story. Different story.
Missing case of the Rude Boy.
But I literally saw him the next day at the accident. Like, bro, what the heck happened to you? He's like, man, I had to go buy ice, and I don't know who was driving him. He said, I think one of his boys was driving him, but he's like, he took the long way. He was going like 2 miles per hour because he didn't want me to get played anymore. I was like, no way. He's like, yeah. He told me, nah, man, I don't want you to get injured. And I was like, bro, come on, man, you threw it away for the team.
But anyway, that was a great night. I mean,
that's all I wanted to say.
And I will say quickly,
warm-up suits. I mean, Schmo, thank you.
Absolutely.
All claps to Schmo and Helen Yee for setting that up.
I tell you right now, though, motivating me to get out there and do some suicides, get myself in some basketball shape. Whole different ball game. I could run in the Florida Heat all day, running up and down a basketball court. Whole different story. So, dude, I really want to ask you, because we could go in a number of different directions about UFC 290. Volkanovski, Yair. I guess I'm curious what you think of Yair's performance. Hindsight's obviously 2020. For me, I've heard a couple people say, maybe my brother included, would have loved to see him maybe go balls to the wall a little bit more, just sort of out the gate, throwing some crazy things, as we know he's a special striker. Just your assessment of Yair's performance in that championship fight.
Yeah, I mean, for us as a team, we figured what Volk's game plan was going to do. He's very smart and he's very strategic with everything he does. And we knew that it was probably going to be more of a grappling match. And Yair's one of those guys, man, where he's not afraid to grapple. He's not afraid to be on his back, and he gets a little bit too comfortable on his back. And I think that was a little bit of the issue of staying down there and elbowing him off his back. And, Volk is very good, and a lot of people underestimate his strength, and he's good at holding you down. He has really good ground and pound. Going balls to the walls, it's different when you're going against who you think is the pound for pound number one guy in the world, because doing that leaves you open for takedowns. That leaves you open for getting caught underneath, changing levels. And we figured that would be like the only way that Volk would catch him, is him doing something wild, like a flying knee or something. But that's Yair's style. That's what he needs to do. He needs to throw that, because that's when he's free. I will say this, and I'm not making excuses for my boy or anything like that, but there was an injury going into this.
Oh, and I thought you were going headbutt. Sorry.
No, I mean, the headbutt is the key too, but there was an injury going into this, and that was another reason why he couldn't go balls to the walls from the start, because there's some stuff that he couldn't do. And, he's not saying anything about it, so I'm not going to say nothing about it. But I'll say something about the headbutt, though. I do think that did play a part of it. That was a clean headbutt underneath the chin, and it did rock him. And if you go back and look at the replays, and I rewatched the fight, and he did get hit right underneath the chin. And I don't care how tough you are. When you got a concussion, you got a concussion. And I think that they need to change the rules now, where it should be an automatic 5 minutes that you have to recover. You're not allowed 5 minutes to recover for a headbutt, but you are allowed 5 minutes to recover for a low blow or even now an eye poke. But I think
hear you.
He had a full 5 minutes to recover. Is it? All right, he rejuvenates himself. But Yair got a Mexican chin. That he's been hitting harder by other punches than that. And I think that punch that happened after that, I think the reason why it rocked him so much was because of the headbutt. And people could say, oh, that's excuses. He was getting killed, yada, yada, yada. But Yair, all he needs is 1 second. We saw him against Korean Zombie. He needed 1 second to win that fight. That's all he needs. He's going to fight until the end. He's never going to give up on himself, no matter how the fight's going. So I would have liked to see him get those other 2 rounds, because he would have had to go balls to the walls in the last 2 rounds, because he lost the first 3 rounds. So it would have been that type of thing. And he was catching him in certain spots. He was running at him with combinations when he was letting the kid go in the back. It's hard to read those things, and Yair was catching those things. All it takes is one of those to rock you and finish you. But congrats to Volk. Congrats to his team. He looked great out there, and I think that he's just going to continue to keep beating these 45ers.
We could probably do 2 hours on this card, but it's a good time to go to the co-main event, because one of our game show contestants has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC flyweight 17-1 as a pro. We got both of them 5-0 in the big show. Last time out, 5-round win over the dangerous Kara France. Amir Albazi is on the program. We also have Roman Bravo Young, 2-time NCAA champion. Welcome, boys. Great to have you. Welcome to Remember the Show.
Good to be here. Good to be here. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Yo, what's up, boys? How you guys doing?
Good. How we doing?
Very good. Very good. How are you, Belal?
I'm good. I'm chilling out here, man. Got a little cut, but it's nothing to a boss, right?
Yeah.
So, Amir, real quick, we were going to talk about Pantoja Moreno, and we could talk about the fight. Certainly, I'd like to get your thoughts, but I'm hearing the name Royval a little too much. I believe you're above him in the rankings, if I'm not mistaken. I know you've talked a little bit about it, but certainly I think you'd be itching to see your name on the poster.
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't want to fight for a title? It's every fighter want to do that, but in the end of the day, I don't know what's going on. I know Moreno broke his hand, and if Pantoja want to wait, I don't care who I fight, to be honest with you. It's all the same for me. It's just another day in the office. So, whatever gonna happen. So I'm just focusing on myself, training, getting better every day. Then whatever comes up there, and we fight.
How did you score the fight?
I thought Pantoja won, actually. I think almost easy 3-2, but you can even argue 4-1. it depends how you see it, and that's why it's so hard. You don't know really what the judge is looking at. It's a guessing game every time. But
Yeah.
if I looked at it as from when like I watched it live, I thought Pantoja won. I thought he had the better of it.
Roman, did you watch the fights?
Yeah, it was good. It was good fights. I actually like those fights.
Who would you give that flyweight fight to?
Pinto, I think he won too.
You thought he won too?
Yeah, he had more ground control, more takedowns. I thought he looked pretty good.
I've been seeing you at the PI. Are we doing any striking yet, or are we still just grappling right now?
Grappling, wrestling, little striking, just messing around. But I'm still have a couple wrestling goals I want to accomplish. I'm wrestling a couple weeks, and then I'll probably start slowly taking it more serious. But I just like being around all you guys, and I look up to you and Albazi, you guys. So
You guys get any training together while you're down there?
yeah, we went.
Oh, okay,
This
dope.
guy's like a monkey, man.
Bro, I went with him before. I was like, we rolled. I was like, bro, his ground game is gonna be sick. It's nasty because you can't catch him anywhere.
Yeah,
And, dude, that was like the funnest round I ever rolled.
yeah, very nice.
But Roman, are you boys with Bo?
Yeah, really close to Bo. Actually, yep. We train every day together here.
Oh, no way, nice. Does he give you like advice of like when you should start or when you should turn it to start striking and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's like now if you can just try to do a little bit of striking every other week or so. But most importantly is like don't switch over to fighting until you're completely done with wrestling, because you can't go back to wrestling. You can't do wrestling. It's hard to do both at full time. So it's like just make sure you're completely done with wrestling. So I'm gonna wrestle a little bit of freestyle, give a 2024 a crack, maybe a world team, and then decide what I want next. Like for him, he tried the Olympic trials. He won a U23 world title. So he did wrestle before he switched over too. So
Yeah. I've been training with Austin O'Connor now. He's been in Chicago, and he's like, man, I'm gonna fight in August, but he's gonna be like coaching at U of I, and I'm like, bro, you can't be half in and half out. If you're gonna go to fighting, you got to be all in because it's not gonna be that easy. Because all it takes is one punch or something to rock you. It's not gonna be just like a walk in the park. Everybody's not gonna have the Bo effect.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's like because I've been around all these fighters and I watch them train and been inside Dom's camps and stuff. It's a dark sport. A lot of people don't realize that it's not easy, and it's not just because you can wrestle good. It doesn't mean crap. Wrestling and MMA wrestling, two different things. I think a lot of people don't understand that. So I definitely understand that. I know it's an ugly, dark, grueling sport.
So, Dominic Cruz, I know you've worked with Dom. I know Dom very well. I say to people, I don't know if I've ever met anyone who cares less what people think than Dominic Cruz. And anything I say to Dom, he's going to challenge me on it. I can't get anything out of my mouth. If it's bullshit in any way, he's going to call me on it. So I see you smiling. What's it been like working with my boy Dom?
No, yeah, he's a good dude. And for me, it's not even about how good he is at fighting or what he brings. He's just a good person. We're from the same hometown. He always just makes sure I'm making like the right business decisions. And he helps me a lot with my who I am as a person, my emotional intelligence and stuff like that. So he helps me outside of fighting. But obviously, when it comes to the grappling and stuff, I give him wrestling. I help him out, and he'll start kind of guide me in the right way and stuff like that when I'm ready. But for now, just a good person to have. And, he's been at the top, been at the bottom. He obviously does good for himself. So it's a good mentor to have at this age, I think.
Well, both you guys know each other. Both you guys are cool with each other. So now let's get competitive with each other. This show is a game show. This is not a talk show. So Cody, let's go to the game show.
Wait, but I was watching this earlier, and I don't really know too much about the UFC stuff. I watched the podcast, so I might get my butt whooped. So I'm gonna try that.
I'm gonna get my butt.
I love it.
What is that?
Hey,
I don't know as much. See, when I tell you, I
it's a
barely
nice
started
poster, bro. What?
2 years. I got all in on this stuff.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's all right. You'll be all right.
It's easy today.
I love Bully. This is not a talk show. Good. I love it. I love it.
So you guys gonna explain how it works? Or?
Yeah, we're going to
yeah.
explain how it works. And Roman, it's all right. You're here for fun. So all you got to remember is if you know the answer, shout bully. If you know the answer, you shout bully. Wrong answer, points to your opponent. Correct answer, you get the points. Most points wins. Lot like Jeopardy, say bully if you know the answer. That's all you got to do. Belal, take it away, my brother.
The categories for today. So the first category is face smash. So these are two guy fighters. Their faces are smashed together. So imagine two guys had a baby. That would be this fighter. Easy ones. Nickname game. Every fighter got a nickname. There's some easy ones in there. There's some freebies in there. So don't get nervous, Roman, right now. Third one. Name scramble. Fighter names scrambled up. A lot of these guys are fighting this weekend, so it should be easy. Who is he or she? So this is a girl fighter with a guy filter. So girl fighter with a guy filter. Easy peasy. Roman, since you're nervous, I'll let you pick the first category. Either one of you guys to say bully.
Let's start off.
To say bully.
Give me a name scramble for 100.
Man, you're scratching your neck right now. You're like sweating.
I
got to say bully.
Bully. Yeah, I was before. Bully. I was before.
That was Roman.
That was me.
No, I was before, bro.
You got bad internet, bro. That was Roman.
What's this?
Josh Emmett.
There we go.
Yep.
On
Okay.
the board.
Hey, I need to be quicker. Okay.
It's a buzzard. You're up, Roman, again.
Do I need to press something?
No, you did
you
good.
say
It was
bully.
close. You did
You
good.
just say bully.
You know what?
Okay.
Like, give me a name scramble for 400.
Oh, he's going big.
Let's go.
Oh, it's easy. Bully. Dominic.
Bully.
Hey, Amir is walking through you. What are you doing over there?
Bro, you're not. It's my Wi-Fi.
Careful though. He goes, that's easy, bully. You just hit that bully hard. Amir gonna be creeping.
You're up, Roman.
Let's
Is it
do
my turn?
who is he or she for 100?
Who is he or she for 100? So this is a girl fighter.
Bully.
Amir.
So this is a girl. Hold it
Yeah.
home.
That's great. Looks like my brother-in-law. That's perfect.
I thought that was Smiling Sam Alvey.
All right, you're back. You're on the board, Amir. Now you pick.
Okay. Who is he or she? 400.
400. Okay, he's going big.
Oh, bully.
Roman.
Joanna. I don't know.
Oh.
You don't know how to pronounce the name. It's all good. Joanna.
Yeah.
Joanna's good. We'll take Joanna.
Yeah. Fuck.
That was an easy one, Amir.
Yeah,
up,
I know.
Roman.
I planned it,
Let's
bro.
do face smash for 400.
So this is two guys. Remember, two guys.
Which one?
Face match 400.
400.
Yeah.
Bully.
Amir.
Bully. Paul Felder and Dan Hooker.
Dang, that was a fast one. There we go. Okay, we got a game here. All right, Amir, you're up.
Nickname game 400.
Nickname game 400. The Dominator.
Bully. Wait.
Roman.
This?
This is the nickname. Whose nickname is the Dominator?
Oh, Dominic Cruz. Bully.
Dang. Okay, that was an easy one. I had to throw that one in there.
Hey, I like it.
I didn't even know that one.
All right, you're up, Roman. Amir, he's walking through you right now.
Go.
Bro, you
Who
should
is-
give me some confidence. Not
Who is
fucking
here?
down.
Who is he or she for 300?
300. This is a guy. This is a girl fighter.
Bully.
Amir.
Ronda Rousey.
There we go. Oh man.
I like these.
All right, Amir, you're up.
Okay, go. I'm good with that one. Apparently, go 200. And let's see.
Oh, this is a hard one.
Bully.
Roman.
Tracy Cortez.
Dang! I thought that was a
Oh.
great hard one.
Yeah,
Trevor
let's
Cody
go,
Rivera
boys.
all wrong. It's Trevor. He shouldn't get the points.
Now, Trevor's a guy version.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I see the joke now.
Bro, I called Randy Rousey. I'm like, bro, how come nobody's seeing these names? These names are perfect.
Yeah.
You're up,
Dude,
Roman.
Name scramble for 300.
Name scramble 300. Female.
Bully. Macy Barber.
Dang. Okay.
That was a good one.
That was a quick one.
right there,
This is a
Amir.
game right now. This is close. Yo, shout out to Ian.
Yeah, there's your boy.
Take name scramble 200.
This is a close game right here.
Bo Nickel. Bully. Oh,
I was before. Thank you for
Hey,
that.
he
Amir,
said
that's
bully,
got to be.
bully.
I believe Roman came straight with the Bo Nickel. It's got to go to Amir. Amir said bully, unless I'm
Yes,
mistaken.
that's bully.
I'll go.
Unless I'm mistaken, forced to be judged.
That was
Nickname
easy.
game
That was
300.
The preacher's daughter,
Fuck.
Oh, a bully.
Roman.
Holly Holm, right?
There
Correct.
we go. Main event this weekend.
Oh, yeah. All right.
That
that
was
was
the
big.
easiest one.
Let's
Yeah,
do
brother.
face smash for 200.
Two guys, remember, two guys. Oh man,
That's good. That's
That
tough.
is an abomination.
That's tough.
Yeah.
I
know
don't know,
one, but-
man. Yeah.
I want to say it's Islam mixed with someone.
two lightweights. I'll give you that.
Bully.
Amir.
Mike Chandler and Islam.
Oh, big one.
Wow.
I
That
saw
was
it.
a big one.
Another ball game. I'll remember the show. 300-point game. Let's go, boys.
300-point game right here, guys.
Woo.
This is
The
tight.
tight one.
All right, you pick him, man.
Okay. Face smash 300.
Whew, this is a tight one right here.
Bully.
Amir.
Good one.
Mike-
Bully, man.
yeah.
These are good.
Don't mess it up.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3,
Alex Pereira
2.
and whatever that guy's name is.
Go.
Brown? No?
No, not Blue Eyes.
I don't know.
The
What
guy
do you
that
think?
fought.
You're going to give it to him? Blue eyes?
Blue eyes. What do you mean blue eyes? I need a name.
Blue eyes.
I need one of his names. 3,
Who is
2,
that?
1. Amir.
Brother. I could have got. To be honest, I wouldn't
Points
been.
It
to
was
Roman.
Duplessis. Whew. You need these points right here, man.
All of them I need.
You need all of them.
Maybe
All
more
right.
than that. Maybe more than
No,
that.
even more than that.
Let's do nickname game for 100.
2 fighters.
Bully.
Oh,
Go.
I know that.
Comes out and Bo Nickel.
Oh. All
Boy,
right.
this is a good board for these contestants. Well
This
done.
is good, all right? Walt Harris nickname.
His nickname?
Yeah. He was supposed to fight this weekend. Shout out to Walt.
I don't know.
Brother, I don't know.
The big ticket.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know what? Oh, you don't know
Oh,
Walt
we'll,
Harris?
we'll let you know.
T-Rex.
Terrence McKinney,
Bully.
bully.
Boom.
I was before.
Roman might as well be in the UFC. See, it's meant to be. Couple years, Roman.
Hey.
That's it. Come home, baby. Come home. Couple years. Do what you got to do in wrestling. More than welcome.
Roman, did you see how you performed?
Yeah.
After 5 years in MMA, you're not gonna perform like that. With all those punches to the head.
Your winner and now new RTS
Congratulations.
champion. Shout out to Roman, who was nervous before the game, which didn't make any sense. But how does it feel to be the champion right now?
It was fun, but I feel like it was easy. I feel like you didn't go that hard on.
I don't know where your level was. I didn't know where your level was, but you're good. No, but usually the show is like that. We don't have hard questions.
No, it was fun though. Yeah, once again.
We are gonna have a championship bracket. Maybe there'll be a consolation round for the losers. Amir, I'm sorry, brother. We'll give you. We'll put your name out there for the losers of the show. But Roman, you'll definitely be in the championship bracket. You're a beast. Hey, I appreciate both of you guys coming on the show
Thank you
so much.
Thank you, boys. Good to meet you
Thank
both.
so much.
All right, man.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Dude, great, and good. I like if he thinks it's a little easy. Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Let me see where his levels are at. But he was good. He was a beast. A lot of those are pretty hard.
Yeah,
too. So I'm
absolutely.
like, yeah, he knows more than he said when he lets on.
You know, it really is interesting, like who watches this stuff and who doesn't. You have the guys, I asked Kenny Florian during International Fight Week because he's from Boston. I was like, so be honest, like with me, what Boston sports, like, do you still watch? Do you still keep up? And he sort of was like, nah. And the real answer is no. He would much rather watch fighting than any of that. And with a young family, it's like you can't take it all in, and so I see guys like that. There's certain guys in the UFC, and I believe Jalen Turner doesn't watch a ton necessarily. There's certain guys that don't watch a ton of this stuff. But Roman definitely seemed to have his hand on the pulse.
Yeah, Roman, because he always comments on my bics too. He's like, bro, your bics suck. And he always comments on it, so I know he's watching.
Well, Bully likes to pick with his heart a little bit sometimes. You know what I mean? If I've said this before, if you're totally with your head, we might actually keep track of this thing. Anyway, yeah, photo bomb, great place to start. Those who didn't catch Belal's brilliant photo bomb, Cody, I'm assuming you'll probably pull this up somewhere. I should have warned you first, but this is gold. So speaking of gold, like what's the deal with the welterweight gold, by the way, I should say, but so Belal, Leon Edwards, a little photo opportunity, cage side, and Bully B was in the moment behind him. For those who don't, I'm sure everyone's seen it. So Belal, did you see that coming? Was that just a quick move out of you?
No, literally, I was sitting there because, I've seen him a couple times through the hotel and I'm like trying to talk and he just like walking with his head down.
Really?
With his sunglasses on, acting like he's something. And I was like, bro, this guy's a loser. But like you see, what I tell people, I'm like, you see guys like Volkanovski getting into the face of Topuria, and you see Adesanya going and like they know how to sell something. Like this guy literally just had his phone, his head down the whole time I've seen him. And I was like, bro, I'm going to treat him right now. I'm going to do something to him, but I'm not going to do something out of character where I'm going to go and try to like act stupid or crazy for no reason. But I was like, I got to set him up with a picture. And I was telling Jared to take it from the side, but Jared is a terrible photographer. So then I saw them doing the picture with the social media team, and they were taking the picture of him. So I was like, I got to catch him right now.
There it is.
So I did it. I stood up. And I got the picture, and I got the picture from somebody. I'm not gonna say who because he was messaging the whole social media team like, "Who the F gave him this picture? Yada, yada, yada. Like, why did you guys give him this picture?" And I'm like, "Bro, just tell him to come message me if he wants to know how I got the picture. He could come and ask me." But he didn't even like turn his head around or anything like that. He literally just kept his head in his phone, like on his phone, texting the whole time or somebody, or I think his manager probably told him, "Don't say nothing, don't bring attention to it." But I'm like, bro, you just got treated right now. And like, I'm going to be fighting you next, whether you like it or not. Like, I'm going to be fighting for the title next. There's nothing you can say or do that you can hide from me. And that just tells me that he's afraid and that he doesn't want this fight. He wants the easier fight at Kobe Covington. That's the easier matchup for him. And he's just trying to avoid me at all costs, like putting his head down, walking away, not bringing anything up. That just tells me he's trying to avoid the situation. But you can't avoid it. Dana said it. We're getting the title shot next, whether you like it or not. So it's either you want to make money with it or you don't want to make money with it, but you're going to have to sell something.
Well, and I don't think it's very likely, but if you saw our boy Ian Parker did a post where he was trying to kind of play matchmaker a little bit, and he floated a scenario where, if Islam doesn't have an opponent, maybe Islam fights Leon, and then Kobe has to fight Belal for the interim title in Abu Dhabi. Do you hate that, Belal? What do you think of that?
I mean, for me, it doesn't really matter, but Islam's not going to fight for the welterweight belt because he's not going to defend the welterweight belt. So I think that ends up probably being Islam against Oliveira. I think Oliveira is going to have to bite the bullet and turn around and fight. Like, I don't know what he said, why he's not going to be ready. I think he just doesn't want to go back to Abu Dhabi because of the way the fight that went last time. But Islam's a champion. They need Islam to fight in Abu Dhabi. So I think it's going to end up being that fight. Or you'll have somebody like a Michael Chandler hop in there because he does have a name. And, the UFC could sell anything, right? They can make anything make sense. Michael Chandler fighting Islam makes more sense than Kobe fighting Leon.
I agree.
If we're being honest, like if they're going to be able to sell that fight, they can sell this fight. So like for Oliveira, it's like you're going to get skipped over the line if you're not really injured or you're just using an excuse of not trying to fight in Abu Dhabi. Like they're going to put Islam in Abu Dhabi, and it's either going to be you or someone else. But
it's hard for me when you bring up Volk and Adesanya lining up face to face, always against the next guy in the division based on merit. The opportunity is right there for him. I don't know, man. It's like I wouldn't say I'm sick of talking about it, but every time I talk about it, it gets me a little bit irritated, and I don't have anything great to say.
He doesn't want it, and that's what I feel. I seen it. And I tell you guys, and I tell everybody, it's like you felt something in that cage that you didn't like. You see something, you see who I'm dominating. I beaten Gilbert Burns worse than anybody's ever beaten him. I beaten Luque worse than anybody's ever beaten him. I beaten Wonderboy worse than anybody's ever beaten him. What do you think I'm going to do to you? You beat Usman last second head kick knockout, and then the second fight after that, it was a very close fight. Could have gone either way. Before that, you're fighting Nate Diaz, RDA. You haven't fought anybody like me. And Colby's a way easier fight. You're fighting somebody that's been out for over a year and a half. His last win was against Masvidal. Before that, the only other win he has in the welterweight division right now is Brian Barbanera and Max Griffin. Those are his only welterweight wins that he has now. So that's a way easier fight than I am. And I'm just going to be waiting there. If I have to wait a year, I'll be waiting there. And I'll just be only getting better. And I'll probably only be training for Leon because I think he's going to walk through Kobe's trash. So, like, you're going to be a whole year to train for one guy? Perfect.
Yeah, it's interesting the way you said that. And I love all of that, by the way. See a little nook above Bully's right eye? Doesn't matter, right? He's sitting waiting for strap season. Don't matter. But it is interesting to hear you talk like that just about Leon almost passing by Colby. If, to me, it's still like the Colby Leon thing to me is still far-fetched in my mind just because I know it's probably going to happen. But in my mind, it's still far-fetched because it's just hard for me to imagine if and when it's going to be announced. But maybe I'm sure people know more than I do.
Well, and also, I mean, it's crazy to think, Belal, how much you have evolved since that fight. Like the Belal Muhammad that fought Leon Edwards on short notice, by the way, at the Apex is a completely different fighter. So then you rattled off wins against Damian Maia, Stephen Thompson, Vicente Luque, Sean Brady, Gilbert Burns. His resume pales in comparison, and I think it's the best fight that they can make in the welterweight division. I don't think a Kobe fight, sells a crazy amount that makes it somehow, more viable for a champion's pay-per-view points. So,
they're going to sit there and say, oh, well, Kobe is a draw, but like Kobe's not really a draw. He sells to guys that he has animosity with. Like Usman will talk back. Masvidal will talk back. Like I said, Leon's going to put his head down, not say a word, and it's not really going to do nothing. I don't think so. So for me, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, I'm just going to keep getting better. I know what my next fight is, and it's going to be for the belt. So all I can do now is just keep growing, and these guys are going to pay for it in the end. These guys are going to regret it in the end because they tell these guys that, oh, man, you better get Bo Nickel before he gets better. You better get Bully B because I'm only getting better and I'm only growing every other day.
100%, man. Took the words out of my mouth there. I was going there. Wait till he become champ. You're going to get, what they say, 10 to 30% better once you become champ? Yeah, look out.
Literally, right?
Anyway, Justin Fields, look out. That conversation might get even more real, okay? About these Chicago athletes. Anyway, game show, fire. If you be so kind, Mr. Merrill, let's move on to Bully's Bix. Great thing about the UFC, it's like you get this banging International Fight Week card, people saying like greatest fight card of all time. And it's like, you think they're dark the next week? Like, nope. Got a fight card, whatever you may think of the fight card, but they ain't going dark. Apex is a little dark. I had some conversation with Brendan Fitzgerald about the Apex. Anyway, UFC Fight Night, home versus Buena Silva. As always, nice little 3-pack here for you on Bully's Bix. And as I said earlier, if Belal picks with his head and not his heart, see, a lot of friendships developing, so the more you get to know these people, hard to pick against them. But anyway, when he picks with his head, he does pretty good. Before we do the three Bix, I just want to say we're not picking the Jack Della Maddalena fight, but how about this guy, 3-name Jack, sticking around Las Vegas, looking for a fight. So last week at the PI, John was filming something for ESPN, and not much was going on at the time. The sound guy was like hoping nothing was going on. And then right as they're about to start the interview, 3-name Jack comes in for a little pad work. And dude, he's just snapping. This is before we knew his fight was canceled, but the sound guy was ready to lose it. But anyway, I just had to shout out that guy because regardless of who he's facing, I mean, to stay out there, stay disciplined and want to get that in, respect. No, Bully?
Yeah. It sucks. Cause like you said, he's coming all the way from Perth to Vegas and America, and you're expecting to have a fight. And then when a fight gets canceled the week of, it's the worst thing ever. Then all of a sudden you get a new opponent and you say yes to it. And then that opponent ends up having to pull out. And you're like, what the heck? Am I not meant to fight? And it was the biggest card of the year. And it would have that's where you want him. That's the card you want to fight on. And I think the way he performs, he would have wanted to fight on that card, especially with Trump in the audience and, all the fans that were down there. So that sucks.
Yeah,
And going from
Volk on
that
it,
to
you
the
know?
Apex. But, he's pretty sure he's just grateful that he got an opponent, got somebody to step up the week after. I'm sure that he's happy just to be fighting and getting a check now.
Hey, yeah, go make a highlight and go make this weekend memorable for its own reason. Anyway, we are going to start couple fights in the lightweight division before we get to the main event. Are we starting with Ottman Azaitar Francisco Prado? We are indeed. Close fight on paper. So Ottman hoping to bounce back after his first ever pro loss at the hands of the steamroller Matt Frivola. I do think this is kind of interesting in my research today. So I saw a nickname for Ottman, the Bulldozer. Have you ever heard that before?
I was literally going to put him on a nickname game, and I was like, wait, nobody's going to know his name's the Bulldozer.
So the irony is that Cody knows this. Matt Frivola's father, Sal, is the Bulldozer Frivola. That's Frivola's father's name. Anyway, so I thought that was interesting. Anyway, his first ever pro loss at the hands of Matt Frivola. First round knockout, New York. That was UFC 281 back in November. And then Frivola beats Drew Dober, and now he's ranked. So I'm sure Ottman can't wait to get back in there. Gets Francisco Prado, 11-1 as a pro. I don't know a lot about this guy. He suffered his only loss last time out. That was his UFC debut against Jamie Malarkey. UFC 284, February of this year. So all of Prado's 11 wins by finish, 6 sub, 5 by knockout. Belal, get us started here. Lightweight division. Who's the first pick?
I was able to get some training in with Ottman while I was down there. Literally one of the nicest guys in the world. If you ever met him, he's such a good guy, like a genuine person. So being able to go down there, train with him, he got some sparring with me, with Jared, with Horacio. So the whole guys that were down there, we gave him a full week of training. So we got a inside scoop of how he looks and how he feels. And he looks great, feels great. Coming off of a loss like that to Frivola and having him win, that's what you always love, right? You always love the guy that beat you to continue winning and continue growing. Yep. Now it tells you that, I don't suck. I wasn't this or wasn't that. I didn't lose to a scrub. So I think for this one, he's going to bounce back really good. I think Francisco, he's kind of like a brawler too. He needs to get it to the ground. Ottman has really good takedown defense, and Ottman got power in his hands. Even when he's throwing light, it hurts. I think that he's going to go out there, and he's a finisher himself. I think he's going to come out there and finish Francisco maybe early, hopefully early second round, first round. But I got him as a finish.
Ottman. Cody, going the other way or riding with Bully?
So I'm a little surprised by the odds here, and I'm surprised because of a lot of what Kenny and BP said on our show Monday. This is obviously Thursday. We have the advantage of time to sit and marinate over this. But, Francisco Prado, his fights before this were in Samurai Fight House. Like, if you wanted to make up a fight promotion, and put it into a random name generator, Samurai Fight House might come out. Never heard of it in my life. So to come off of a loss against Jamie Malarkey, whereas Azaitar is coming off a loss against Frivola, I just think you're looking at two completely different levels of competition there. So I think Azaitar should be the favorite here. I'm just a little surprised that he's not. So I think there's a lot of value for him. I do think he's going to go out there and finish Prado. Just a different level of competition. And as Belal said, Azaitar has been there training with the best for weeks now. And who knows who Prado's been training with, at Samurai Fight House.
Moving on to the next fight, lightweight division. By the way, Bully, there are people, you're my boy, so I want to tell, I met George Masvidal this trip, right? Hadn't met George Masvidal before, right? So we're on the plane back on Sunday with Masvidal, right? So John ended up sitting right next to Masvidal. I was in the back of the fucking bus as usual, but that's fine. But so I guess Masvidal, slept the whole flight, right? And then all of a sudden, he sees me coming up to him, with his hair. You know what I mean? And it's just like, what is going on here? Anyway,
150 milligrams of edibles that he took after sitting on the runway waiting for the plane to take off.
And did John grow hair while we were on this flight?
Right, dude.
How long we were on this flight? It's like that
dude,
move, like that Netflix show where they disappear for years at a time.
Yeah, right. Anyway, moving on. Nazim Sadikov, Terrence McKinney. So Sadikov, the designated favorite here, albeit slightly. Terrence McKinney is shouting from the rafters, telling people there's the plus number by my name. Get that money. So I think McKinney likes himself in this spot. Forgive me for not knowing. Is Ray Longo in the corner of Nazim Sadikov? Is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Ray Peter Longo, another fighter here. So 8-1 as a pro, winner of his UFC debut, Dr. Stoppage over Evan Elder. This is Sadikov I'm talking about. That was February this year. Cody, you probably know more about him than me. I guess he's got some pop. Should be a good one against McKinney, who's young but has some experience. Going to be making his 6th walk 3-2 in the big show. Last time out, victim flying knee, courtesy of Ismael Bonfim. That was in Brazil back in January. I got this one circled. Cody, we'll let you start us here. I think I know where you're going.
Yeah, I mean, how can you pick against Team Longo, right? I mean, they're on a massive hot streak. Nazim trains with some of the best fighters in the world, Aljamain, Matt Favola, and I just think this is a case of there's a very high level of technical skill that we haven't even seen out of Nazim yet. Terrence, for lack of a better term, he's wild. And, wild will get you a lot of places, but not against someone as technical as Nazim. So I think Naz, the Black Wolf, is going to go out there and avenge the loss from, McKinney versus Favola. And I think he's going to get it done for Team Longo. And then they're going to have some tacos at the Paradise Cantina in Las Vegas.
Love it. Belal.
I think I'm going to go with Terrence in this one. I just think for him, one of his biggest issues is when he came in so hard, you start believing the hype a lot, right? And you start believing yourself, you start getting hyped up, you start believing social media. And I think that he needs to just focus on getting better and training. And I think he changed gyms up. And for Nazim, his first fight was really good, even against Elder. I know the guy trained at Sanford. It was a brawl, and I think that he headbutted him, and that created the cut. But
interesting.
Yeah, I watched that fight, and it was caused by a headbutt, but they just said it was caused by a strike. But I was like, man, I don't know. I don't think that was a strike that created that cut over his eye. But they had to stop the fight because of that. But it was a war. I think they ended up getting fight of the night too for that fight. But for McKinney, I think he just has too much power. I think Nazim will stand there, take a couple of hits. He's tough, but I think if Terrence lands clean on you, he's gonna finish you, and especially for him, he needs this win right now. Now, before it was, I want to win. I want to get hype. I want to fight for the title, this, and this. But now it's now you're trying to save your job because you're on a 2-fight losing streak right now. So this is a big win, big fight for him. And I think it's the perfect opponent for him to catch a win off of.
I like it. Dissenting
and
opinions.
coming ooff a great presentation that he made at the UFC social media summit of how to get muted on Twitter, Terrence Terrence spent so much time on Twitter and for years, talking about the story of when he OD'd and came back to life. And, he's a good character. I just can't, see him getting the win here against Nazim, but.
Yeah. No, like I said, I feel like that's what a lot of these guys' issues are is you could tweet, you could do this, but make sure you're in the room, you're getting that work done. And I think that, when you come in and you get 2 quick knockouts, you're assuming that you're going to be able to just touch everybody and knock them out. But there's tougher guys out there. There's tougher guys out there that could hit you back and knock you out even more.
I'm telling you, I mean, the value of a loss, man. I've watched back some losses of some champions, and it's I can see why he's a champion because he got through that night, and I can see how he must have learned going from that. Anyway, main event of the evening. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I mean, the sport is about how you come back off of a loss. You don't go in MMA and not lose. That's just the long and the short of it. Everyone loses, there's a very 1% of people who lose in this sport. It's how you rebound off the losses. How, a guy like Terrence McKinney, what's he, 25 years old, 26 years old? So he might have another 10 years left in him. So, it's very interesting to see guys when they come in, maybe they come in too soon. Maybe they, make some mistakes. They switch camps, they got to have the right people around them. There's so many variables to the sport, and that's why we love it.
Well, you better have a good memory if you're trying to remember Belal Muhammad's last loss. I don't. Anyway, main event, women's bantamweight division.
I do. It was 49-45, and it happened a week ago on Friday.
Holly Holm -1. Holly Holm -175. Myra Bueno Silva +150. So this line open, I saw Holly Holm -145 early in the week. Surprised me a little bit. Holly's going to be 42 in October. She still won 3 of her last 4, and the Preacher's Daughter ranked number 3 right now, looking up at Raquel Pennington and Juliana Pena. She's beaten Pennington twice, never faced Pena. You never know with a finish here. The bantamweight champion is non-existent at this time. So I think it's an interesting spot in this main event. Buena Silva, she's ranked 10th. She's won 3 straight. Last 2 by sub. And if she gets Holly here, she's right in the mix. So I do think what comes after this fight really could be interesting depending on how it goes down. Belal, get us started. Who do you got in the main event?
Yeah, this is a big fight for Holly because she does have that name. She does have that star power where if she does win this, she could skip over Raquel. Because I think Juliana's for sure going to be on the one end of the title picture. But Raquel's on a 5-fight winning streak. But Holly could say, hey, I beat her twice, and I should be next. I do have a bigger name, and nowadays that's what it's about, right? The bigger name. But for this fight, I do like Holly Holm as a favorite. I think that she's just so smart with distance and footwork, and she just like levels above a lot of these girls with striking, and she just understands it better. Her footwork's way better. Beno Silva needs to get you to the ground. She's kind of like a brawler, so she'll have to bull rush you to the fence, but she doesn't have the type of wrestling that will take Holly down. I think Holly has really good takedown defense because that's what everybody wanted to do since she's been in the UFC is try to take her down. So I think I'm going to pick Holly Holmes here. I think that it'll end up being her just picking her apart from the outside, using the kicks, catching her with some high kicks, and maybe Bueno Silva getting reckless a little bit, trying to rush her, and then maybe we get a finish here from Holly.
You ever met Holly, Bully?
No, I never met her.
You guys would get along well. Two of the nicest people.
Really? She's nice?
Oh,
yeah. I figured she would be nice.
Yeah. She figured you'd be nice too. Cody, you on the favorite too, or what?
I am. And, the main reason because Mayra Bueno Silva has already fought someone like Holly Holm, and it was Manon Fiorot, who is a lesser version of Holly Holm, in my opinion. And she lost. So that was her last loss in MMA. So I think Holly Holm does everything that Manon Fiorot does, but better. She operates well under distance. I don't think the 25-footer versus the 30-footer is going to be a huge adjustment for her. And, the preacher's daughter is just consistent. She only loses the top level competition. I don't think she's going to need a finish. I think this one probably goes to a decision. So that minus 175 can come down a little bit, but I do see Holly Holm winning this one. And I have a question for you guys when it comes to Miss Holly Holm. And obviously her major win, is against Ronda Rousey, the win that everyone remembers, shook the world. There's a lot of rumors about Ronda Rousey coming back, and I believe that Ronda Rousey could come back and be a top 10 female bantamweight right now. What do you guys think about that statement?
Bully.
I don't think she could. Even when she was winning, it was more so because she was a specialist, and the girls, none of them were as evolved as they are now. Nowadays, everybody's good everywhere. The judo throws is not going to work. You barely even see like the headlocks like you used to. When every single girl fight, there was always be a headlock. Nowadays, there's none of that. I think the people at the top of the division, they're just good everywhere. And I don't think that Ronda, especially being so far gone for so long, for her to come back and try to be in the top 10, I don't think it'll work for her.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't have much to say. I mean, I think these divisions are more, to me, Juliana versus Pennington or Holm grabs me a little bit. I got to be honest. And when a champion moves on in a nice fashion like they do with Nunes, and Juliana did get her once, like Juliana moves the needle for me all day long. You could be sure. So either one of those appeals to me greatly.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, and Juliana's a great example of, all press is good press, where, she's outspoken. A lot of people don't like that. She speaks her mind, and hey, if you're going to pay for the pay-per-view to watch me lose, like, by all means, like, come on. So I think Juliana is for sure the A side in any title fight at bantamweight, just for the sheer fact that I think she's going to sell a fight. She's going to go out there and be entertaining. And, I don't think there's many that'll argue that she's not, the number 1 or 1A fighter in the world after the Nunes fights.
Game show was great tonight. I always love that game show, man. We got those categories nice and tight. And I will say, right, this is the Belal Muhammad show, right? And maybe in another life I'd be a promoter, but like, don't anybody get it twisted. Belal Muhammad is the number 1 welterweight contender and is guaranteed, and he gonna wait unless I'm mistaken. So for my boy Belal Muhammad and our director Cody Merrill, my name is Jason Anik. We'll see you next Thursday night on Remember the Show. We appreciate you as always. Later.
Peace.